Hey everyone, welcome back. So today I thought I would try kind of a different video for the channel. Similar yet different given what we're going to be talking about. So if you already saw it, I did put out my favorite albums of the year list near the end of last year. Of course, now we are in 2024. It's a bit late for year-end stuff to still be coming out, I would say, but I thought since like the Oscars and the SAGs and like the Grammys and stuff are still a month or so away, I think, why not? Like, it's still at least relevant enough that I think, yeah, that was my justification for this video. So yeah, if you didn't read the title, this is my 10 favorite films of 2023. Another reason I didn't do this till recently was just I really had to catch up on a lot of the films I wanted to see, at least before if I were to make a video like this. Like, you know, a lot of those films that are like festival circuit and stuff come out at the end of the year anyway, so, you know. But yeah, I think that's about it. And yeah, I won't waste any more time. We should just get straight into it. I will have actually a few films I do want to mention that I wasn't able to see before this video. I still hopefully plan to see them relatively soonish, but like Killers of the Flower Moon, for example, I didn't end up seeing yet, but I could see that potentially making the list when I do get around to watching the 3.5-hour film. I also May December was another one I was kind of on the fence about, but we'll see if I end up watching that. Dream Scenario also, with Nicolas Cage. I think there was at least one more I was thinking of, but now, oh, maybe All of Us Strangers I do want to see at some point, also the new Paul Mescal, Andrew Scott film. But I think that's it, at least for right now. If I didn't mention it, put it in the comments. I either have not seen it or just, you know, didn't feel as strongly as some of the others did, but I did also want to shout out a few honorable mentions before we get into the actual top 10. First, I'll shout out The Iron Claw. I really did enjoy that film, even if, you know, not the whole story was really seen in depth, but it was still a great, like as a film, I think they really pulled off that heart-wrenching, inspiring story. The Society of the Snow was also another very gripping, true story. I think they pulled off very well. Maestro, I didn't love the film, but I liked a lot of aspects really worked for me, for sure. That I could say that with Saltburn as well. Yeah, so without further ado, we can get into my actual top 10. Just one more disclaimer. Again, it's like, take these like specific ranks with like a grain of salt, pretty much. Like, these could easily change within the next few months, whenever, but I just like the list format. So yeah, number 10, that's gonna be They Cloned Tyrone. This movie probably went under a lot of people's radar because it did come out during Barbenheimer weekend on Netflix, but I think it's a really cool story with, like, it's very like science fiction-esque, but tackles a lot of important issues. It's kind of like along the lines of like a Jordan Peele-esque story, and all John Boyega, Jamie Foxx, and what's her name? Tiana Paris. Yeah, they're all fantastic. Yeah, just a really kind of pretty crazy movie, but still very worth watching, I would say. Number 9, one of the biggest movies of the year, that's going to be Oppenheimer. Just truly a spectacle of cinema. I was pretty enthralled throughout the whole 3-hour runtime. Just very impressive movie all around. I can't say I've thought about it much since like that initial release, but it just fantastic. I mean, everyone delivers in the acting front as well. I know Robert Downey Jr. is fully deserving of that Oscar if he does get it. Yeah, just, I mean, what else do I really need to say about it? Number 8, that's gonna be American Fiction. A movie that I was really turned on to by my parents, actually. They saw it when it was going through the festival circuit, but then I Eventually saw it, I think, a week or two ago, and just, yeah, really great script, really, another just really important story for the times, I think, and Jeffrey Wright is fantastic as the lead. I think everyone does amazing, I think, and it is really funny too, even if it is tackling some harder issues like grief, family, past trauma with family, and just, you know, systematic racism and racism in the media, stuff like that. It is really, it remains pretty lighthearted for the serious topics it's talking about, and I really respect it for that as well. Number 7, that's going to be the other huge movie this year, the biggest film this year, and probably, I think, this decade so far. Of course, I'm talking about Barbie. I did see it opening night at a drive-in, actually, and that was a really fun time. And then I watched it again recently when it was on Max over the holidays, and it's just a great film. Greta Gerwig is definitely becoming one of my favorite contemporary directors for sure, and this film is no different. I mean, yeah, it's like, come on. Number 6, that is gonna be the truly gut-busting Past Lives. I mean, I was probably just like totally overcome with this sense of just, I don't know, ennui, maybe, is that the right word to say? But yeah, it's just totally a crushing film, but all just very, like, bittersweet is probably the best way to describe it, for sure. Just, I don't know, I can't say enough good things about it. Number 5, probably the just absurdest film I saw this year, that's gonna be Poor Things. Yorgos Lanthimos is a director I need to still get more into. I remember I saw The Favorite when it came out in theaters, and that was just such a, like, I haven't had a theater experience quite like that since this came out. And Emma Stone, easy lock for me for Best Actress of the Year, I think. Mark Ruffalo as well is fantastic. Willem Dafoe, Rami Youssef, just everybody, even like Gerard Carmichael, everybody is fantastic. I was just so immersed in this world. It's just probably the most beautiful, aesthetically, film I saw this year as well, at least when it comes to the live action front, for sure. Yeah, it's just a really inspiring story as well, of this woman finding herself in the world and learning to love the world we're in, even if it is at times terrible. But yeah, just fantastic. Number 4, that is gonna be probably my favorite teen adjacent comedy I've seen, at least this decade, maybe past decade, maybe one of the best I've ever seen. It's gonna be Bottoms. I just absolutely adore this film. I think it just totally feels like something out of the 2000s, but still in, you know, modern times, of course, and just the humor, the just crazy part, like unhinged parts of it are just fantastic. I think everyone does great. I think Iowa Debris, Rachel Sennett, the whole cast is hilarious. Marshawn Lynch is so funny. I think it's easily like another staple for me when it comes to, like, maybe say summer teen comedies. Yeah, it's just amazing. 3 is a movie I honestly couldn't really stop thinking about for a week after I watched it. It's gonna be Anatomy of a Fall. So this is a kind of half English, half French film that is probably the most, like, consumed I've been by, like, a courtroom drama in a long time. Maybe, like, I don't know, the only other ones that come to mind for me are like A Few Good Men, To Kill a Mockingbird, like classics like that. It's like, I would say it's up there for sure. It just keeps you guessing throughout. I think Sandra Hüller, I think, hopefully I'm pronouncing that somewhat correctly, she does amazing, I think. And the little boy, I don't know his name off the top of my head, but he, one of the best child actors I saw this year, or in the last few years for sure. I was just continuously immersed in this film. I just couldn't take my eyes off the screen for the entire like 2.5 hours I think it runs, but it's worth every minute of that for sure. Number 2 is going to be one of the best sequels I've seen in a long time. It's going to be Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Not saying it's better than the original, but it comes pretty damn close. I think just they up the ante in the animation, the just sheer like emotion factor of this film is even, I think, hits even harder with more, you get more scenes kind of with Miles, with his family, with Gwen, just with everyone. I think Oscar Isaac's character, Miguel, is crazy. And the new villain Spot, Jason Schwartzman's character, I think it was a funny introduction with him. I think just going into the next film, I think we're gonna see even more from him, which I'm excited about. Of course, I have to mention, is it Hubie? I think Hubie, Daniel Kaluuya's character, hilarious. Yeah, just literally, I think Into the Spider-Verse is probably, it's one of my favorite films of all time at this point. It's probably my favorite superhero film ever made, and this did not disappoint me in the slightest. So this brings me to number 1. I think, yeah, easily just the most fulfilled I've felt in a theater from a film in a very long time, probably pre-COVID. Like, this was easily my favorite theater experience I've had, and that's gonna be Alexander Payne's The Holdovers. And you know a movie's good when I end up being in like the front 2 rows of the theater and I'm still just completely in awe of this film's style, the film's script. The actors, Paul Giamatti is fantastic, Divine Joy Randolph, amazing, and the Dominic Sessa, I don't remember his character's name, but he's like the main kid that stays at school over the break. Amazing, and I think it's his first movie, which is also just like crazy to see that level of chops on that kid. But yeah, fantastic all around. I think I've been a fan of Alexander's for a long time, ever since Nebraska came out, which is another like top 10 movie of all time for me. I think like his film Sideways is also another one I watched pretty recently, but it's just so great. I just love his way with storytelling, and I think this film is just another one of his best, in my opinion. It's also fun to see, like, this is like kind of a Christmas movie, like it takes place on Christmas. It's not like totally like involved with Chris, like something like an Elf or a Christmas Story, but it's definitely one that I can see coming back to every year with all those other films. It's just so comforting, and even if it does have some like darker moments, has some darker themes in it, but it still remains lighthearted. It remains just a joy to watch, and it's just, yeah, easily my favorite film of 2023. And that's gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching. If you made it this far, I know it's kind of a spur of the moment video for me, but yeah, I just thought I need to get some thoughts out there, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.